Good evening. Hi, good evening. How are you? It's so bright in here this evening. The sun is literally streaming through my window, and I haven't got any curtains or blinds in here. I've just got this hippie style net curtain up that usually suffices, but we're at that twilight time, aren't we, where the light changes. So it's highly likely that that will morph into something else while I'm talking to you tonight. So I'm sure the light will change on this live video for posterity as I speak. So I'll try not to stay on for too long. How are you this evening? What's been happening in your world, and what's the weather like where you are? Saturday and Sunday were absolutely glorious here in Scotland, in Dalbeattie. In fact, me and Dan spent the entire time in the garden with the dogs. And then yesterday it just bucketed down. It literally bucketed down. And then today we're back to sunshine again. Scottish weather, you just never know what you're going to get. Sandals one day, slippers and socks the next. Anyway, I'm going to kick off. I've got the comments on, but I don't know whether I'll be able to see all of your comments on all platforms. If I can, I will respond live. If I can't, I'll come back later. So there's a few people dropping on now, so I'm going to get started. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Mandy Nicholson, and I am the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, I'm an author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their businesses and make more money. It's in my little bio and my strapline. And I've put a little floater on the bottom of here tonight saying manifesting castles since 2019. Because tonight I want to talk to you about manifesting wealth. And I did talk about this in my group this morning. It's my theme of the week. Hi, Kirsty. So nice to see you. It's my theme of the week this week. I like to put money on the agenda every couple of months and just talk about it openly, because we as Brits are so stuffy about talking about money. We are really uncomfortable about talking about money and wealth and how to make more of it. It just makes us uncomfortable. And a lot of the ladies that I work with, the creative ladies, really struggle to value themselves and their services. So I like to talk about money for a whole week, every now and again. And this is the week. So this is what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So most of you that have been following my story over the last few years know that it's been a huge roller coaster. And I started telling my story when I was able to write my story. And that was in 2019. Because I'd had this story and I'd just been living life and getting on with it and rebuilding my life. But I'd had this story where in 2019, I lost everything. I didn't even realize myself what a big story it was, because I think when things happen to you sometimes, you just do what you've got to do to move forward. And then you can reflect on it sometimes and look back on it and go, wow, that was a big lesson I had. There was a number of big lessons I had. And it was when I was writing my book, The Life I Won, which is here. Not plugging my book, but this is where it started, that I realized how massive this story was. So mine is not a rags to riches story. Mine is a riches to rags and back again story. Because I was born into quite a wealthy family in Manchester. My dad worked in the Middle East. My mum worked. We had money. We always had what we wanted when we were kids. In fact, that formed my money mindset. I thought money was easy to get hold of, readily available, would appear when I wanted it or needed it, because that's what was happening through my formative years. That I was just being given money as a child or as a teenager when I needed it. I was working age 13 on a stall in Stockport Market, earning money of my own. So I did realize that you could make money from a very early age, but I was surrounded with abundance, which meant that I went into adulthood with almost a disregard for money, a disrespect. If I wanted something, I just got it. If that meant I needed to take a bank loan out or a credit card, I did that. And I had the means to pay it off because I had a good job. So, my relationship with money was flippant, is the word I would probably use. And when you have a flippant relationship with something, then other people pick up on that and they also behave in the same manner. And that's what happened to me. And my demise came in 2019 through my series of unfortunate events. I had it all. I had a 6-figure salary, company car, 2 cars, beautiful cottage in the country. And within the space of 12 months, I'd lost it all. And I had ended up with nothing. I lost every penny I'd ever earned, every asset I'd ever grown. And I ended up living in social housing in Amble in Northumberland, in a council house with £30 in my bank account. So it was a big, hard lesson in life. So I had to really flip my thinking around wealth and around money if I wanted to rebuild my life. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight, is the process of rebuilding wealth, or of just building wealth if you've not had it before, because it starts and ends with you and the way that you think. And this is where people normally leave because they don't want to take responsibility. Like, right, okay, I'm going to stop watching this live now because Mandy is going to tell me that it's my responsibility. Yes, I am going to tell you that it is your responsibility. How much money you earn, how much money you manifest into your life is entirely your responsibility. Nobody is going to come along with a magic wand and do it for you. Nobody is going to go, here you go, there's a wad of money, go and enjoy the rest of your life. Your job is to switch your thinking on so that you can do the right things to attract the wealth that you want in your life. So it starts with your thinking that leads to your behaviors. And my learning around this was when I stopped saying, poor me, I'm at rock bottom, I'm in a council house by the sea, and I flipped my script on that and started finding huge, really meaningful gratitude for what I did have and forgiveness for the people that had led me down that path. That was the ground opening for me to manifest wealth into my life. And it's the same for you. Wherever you are now, it's okay to be where you are. It's 100% okay for you to be exactly where you are now. But where do you want to be? Do you have a really clear vision of where you want to be? And are you taking the action in all of the areas that could manifest money into your life to get you to that number? Okay, that's a number, and it doesn't matter whether that number is number of people served, number of pounds in your bank account, number of assets in your portfolio. It doesn't matter how you measure it, but it's got to be really clear. So the reason I put on the little ticker across the bottom of here, manifesting castles since 2019, was that was my visual. Okay, so I turned my life around from rock bottom, and 10 years later, I bought my dream home for cash in Northumberland. And when I bought my dream home for cash in Northumberland, I was like, right, what's the next big thing that I can focus on in my future to manifest? And I stuck a castle on my vision board. I was like, right, I want to buy a Scottish castle, and I want to run creative retreats. I want to launch my creative business. I want to step back into the creative space. I want to do this. Big dreams, big goals. Because if we don't think big, and here's the first thing, if we don't think big, we're only going to take small steps. When you think really big, you automatically take bigger steps towards your goals, because you've got to come up with actions that meet that big goal and big vision that you've created in your life, particularly if you truly believe in it. So when I say manifestation starts with you, it really does. It starts with you believing that you can. So I'm going to ask you this question. You probably heard from parents or people around you, you can do anything you want to do. You probably heard that growing up. Maybe you didn't. You certainly will have heard a lot of their money mindset issues. Money doesn't grow on trees, blah, blah. Rich people are bad people, all of that. But somebody along the way will have said, you can do anything you want to do. You can achieve anything. So the question is, when did you stop believing that? Was it in the schooling system? Was it when you got married? Was it when you gained weight? Was it when you had the nasty divorce? When did you stop believing you can do anything that you want to do? And this is the start of us not being able to manifest what we need and what we want into our lives. Because when you don't believe that you can, then you won't. End of story. So the first thing in manifesting wealth is working on your money mindset. So I have put 2 links in the comments. It's going to be above or to the side. One to my free mini money mindset program, one to my book, because this is the root of my story of how I was able to turn my life around. And the manifesting castle since 2019. I may not be living in a big Scottish castle right now, but I manifested my mini version of my castle. I bought it for cash last year and I've renovated it and it's now open and I'm doing creative retreats. So you can do anything you set your mind to. But you need to be the leader in your life, the leader of your thoughts and the leader of your actions. Those are the key principles of manifesting wealth. So here's my second question to you. When you are planning your diary, when you are creating your vision board, do you have an action plan that mirrors the place you want to be? If you want to earn, let's pluck a figure out of the air. If you want £10,000 months, does your diary and your vision board and your action plan reflect £10,000 months? How many products or services do you need to sell to earn £10,000? And what's your strategic plan around sales and marketing to generate that £10,000? Because if there is a mismatch there, then you're dreaming. A plan without action is a dream and not actually going to be you manifesting what you need into your life. So first things first, self-belief. You've got to believe you can. Secondly, having a real clear mindset for wealth, letting go of past grievances, being grateful for what you already have, accepting where you already are, knowing where you want to go, and being able to quantify that. How much? I didn't just put a castle on my vision board. I looked online to find all the castles that were for sale in Scotland, and I picked the castle. I knew what price it was, how much stamp duty I'd have to pay, what I'd need to operate it for the first year, the staff costs. I knew the figure I needed to generate in terms of wealth to be able to get to that goal. And I put an action plan in place to help me get there. I knew it was a 5 or 10 year plan. But 2 years, 3 years down the line from that castle going on my vision board, I'm living in a mini version of it, on my way, if I want to the bigger version. And that's what I'm saying about your mindset is everything and your self-belief, but also creating the actions that support the plan and the vision and the goals. If you have nothing in your diary that is income producing activity to the level that you want to be at, then you are not manifesting wealth. It's not a magic formula. There's nobody got a magic one that's going to say, oh, you want 10 grand a month? There you go. That's how to do it. There you go. Off you go. Go and do it now. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take lots of belief. It's going to take lots of planning, lots of getting it wrong, lots of doing it a different way until you get it right. Because that's the reality of manifesting wealth. And what happens is people go for it, really motivated. They've got this big vision and this big plan, and they set goals and they get really motivated, and nothing happens in the first couple of months, and they go, nothing's happened, so nothing's going to happen, so I'm just going to relax. And that's where the problem lies. If you want to manifest wealth, you have to keep going through the desert, through the dry period where the tumbleweed is going past you and the water is just out of reach. You've got to keep going and continue with that big plan that you've got, with that big vision that you've got, taking the income producing actions that you can on a daily and weekly basis in order for you to be able to generate the wealth that you want. Most of those income producing actions that you put into your diary and onto your goals will not generate income right now. What they will be doing is setting you up for later on, setting you up for run, I always call it. Okay, so even now, doing this live with you tonight, teaching you about manifesting wealth and talking to you about my story is an income producing activity. Why is it an income? This is me being really honest with you. Like, loads of people are not going to do this, but I'm going to be really honest with you. All right. This is an income producing activity. I don't expect you to buy anything tonight, but in the comments are 2 links. Link to a free money mindset training that puts you on my email list. If you want the training, you have to sign up. That's what I want in exchange for the freebie, your email. And the second one is if you want to listen to the first 2 chapters of my book, me reading the first 2 chapters of my book, I also want your email. I'm going to give you something free, but I want something in exchange. So that means that you will then go onto my email list and you'll be able to get my weekly newsletter, get to know, like, and trust me better. And somewhere down the line, you may decide to buy my book or work with me. So this is an income producing activity, but it may not produce income for 12 months because it might be a year before you're ready to do anything with the knowledge that you gain from watching me or being in my world. And that's okay. It's still an income producing activity. Imagine if I gave up doing this because nobody bought anything tonight. And there would be lots of people that hadn't learned lots of things over the last couple of years. Go and have a look at my YouTube, which is on my website, mandynicholson.co.uk. There are something like 160 lives like this on there. I have done this every week, week in, week out, since 2019, telling my story, sharing value, manifesting wealth through showing up and being really, really consistent. Every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, I'm like a soap opera. Okay, so this is your Tuesday night soap opera where you know you're going to get some value and there's a reason for me doing it. So the question I ask of you is, are you doing something in this committed a way that you'll do it no matter what, even if someone doesn't buy from you for 6 months? Are you still going to show up every single week? Are you still going to show up every single day? Because that's what it takes to manifest wealth. Whatever you do now may not come to anything with most people. It may come to something with a really small percentage of people, but not for 12 months. Are you prepared to put that work and time in order to manifest the wealth that you want in your business? Because if it was easy, we would already all be really wealthy, wouldn't we? It's hard and it takes persistence. It takes determination and it takes consistency. So have a big vision, have a plan that goes with it, put that plan into income producing activities, do them week in, week out, day in, day out. And that is how you will start the ball rolling on manifesting your wealth. There are lots of other things you can do, and there are lots of lives on my website, on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to if you want to, where I talk about affirmations, where I talk about different methods of manifestation for the wealth in your life. Because there's not just one thing you need to do. There are lots of things. I wish there was a secret sauce, a magical formula, a series of 3 things that I got you to do that would just work and manifest wealth into your life really quickly for you. I could do that if we spent some time together. If we did a one-to-one, I could set you off on doing something that would bring money into your world very quickly. But in order for that to happen consistently and at the level that you wanted it to, you'd have to build an infrastructure. Building an infrastructure is an income producing activity. Building an email list, income producing activity. Showing up live on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock when you want to have your feet up in front of the telly is an income producing activity. And it shows commitment. So that's what I wanted you to think about tonight. It's a slightly different live to the live that I did in my group this morning, because I could talk about money, manifestation in a million different ways every single day, because there are so many things to learn, which is why I would like you to take my mini money mindset freebie, because you can listen to 6 audios that will just start you thinking about some of the things you can do today to help your money mindset. There's also an upsell to my money mindset program, transparency all the way, with a discount coupon. So if you take the freebie, maybe you really want to work on that money mindset and you really want to manifest wealth into your life, and you're going to get serious about it. It is when we get serious about things, it is when we fully immerse ourselves into a path and that we remove all other obstacles, that we manifest what it is we truly want in life. And that's what I want for you. So thank you for watching. If you managed to get to the 20 minutes, I normally stop at 20 minutes, so I am going to stop now. I could go on for another hour about this subject, but you would be very bored and sleeping. So I'm going to stop now, because I will be talking about money again in probably a few weeks or a couple of months' time, because it always crops up. Please let me know if this was useful, if it's made you think, where you're watching from, whether you're watching on replay or live, or all that usual jargon that's said in lives every single day on social media. And I will be back at the same time, in the same place, next Tuesday night, your Tuesday night soap opera at 7 p.m, talking about a different topic. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.